أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلام تسليما الحمد لله وكفى والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, I seek refuge in Allah from the rejected shaitan. May Allah bless our master, Sayyidina Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, companions, and give them peace. All praise is due to Allah, for he is sufficient for us. Peace be upon his slaves, whom he has chosen. As to what follows. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh to everyone. Thank you for joining the Half Your Deen show with myself, Samira Abdullah, and my co-host. He'll be in, I guess, shortly, late as always, Imam Naeem Abdullah. As you can see, the ticker on the bottom of the screen. Share this video. Don't forget to share and like it. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nurzaman channel. Let me put that up there too. Let me see here if I got that somewhere. Give me one moment. Hold on one second. Put our YouTube channel. It's right here. Share, and subscribe. And hit the notification button, because sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, when we come on live on Facebook, there's a delay with the notification. But YouTube, they be on it. So subscribe to our YouTube channel here. Nurzaman right here. If you put it in exactly how you see it here, you'll go straight to it. But if you type it in, you have to put spaces in between Nur and then UZ and then a space and then Zaman, because there are other channels that have the same name. Let me see who's in the building. Wa alaikum salam barakatuh. Brother Demisi, I apologize. I forget your name. I hear my husband say your name, so please forgive me if that I've forgotten. My sister Sakina, I seen her last weekend. It was so beautiful to see her and her companion, Hamdulillah. My brother Yahya Jami, Hamdulillah. Him and his beautiful wife, Hamdulillah, joined us last weekend in Philly. Hamdulillah, was so beautiful. Welcome, Sister Joanne. Thank you for coming in here. Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum salam to barakatuh. Good to see you. Oh, we got Deidre in the building. Oh, co-host of the 3453 show. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for joining us. Wa alaikum salam to barakatuh, Brother Hassan Ali. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, don't forget to share, like. The more likes and shares that are out there, it would allow people to get the recommendation to see this show. I noticed something has started regarding YouTube. I thought it was strange. And I just caught it. It's something that already started since the 10th of November. Have y'all noticed on YouTube videos that you do not see any dislike? The dislike button, you don't see any numbers. If you go to any YouTube channel, just pick any one. Look at the likes and the dislikes. There will not be any numbers on the dislike side. I'm like, wow, people are being nice these days. I said, wow, people are taking the time to appreciate content. But that's not the case. YouTube disabled the number. The content makers, creators, they can see their dislikes, the haters, but you won't be able to see that anymore. I wonder why they did that. Wa alaikum salam to barakatuh. Sister Felicia, thank you for joining us. And Miriam, alhamdulillah, thank you for joining us. So I thought that was really strange. Wa alaikum salam to barakatuh, Brother Hussein. Yeah, I thought that was strange. But mashallah, I guess it's one of their marketing gimmicks to help people gain more subscribers or whatever. I don't know. I didn't see the explanation for that.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam to barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Are you saying that there is no dislike button?
There is a dislike button, but the public will not be able to see who disliked the video.
In other words, it doesn't show you the amount of dislikes.
Nope, the public can't see it. We can for our videos because we are content creators. The public will not be able to anymore.
Okay.
I noticed that I was picking up on that. I was like, this video doesn't have any dislikes. That's strange. And then I seen it in the community area that's something new that they started. Mashallah. Oh, that class is currently going on.
Yeah, I turned to that channel to see. I see a dislike button.
Go ahead, press the dislike button. Press it.
I'm not gonna press dislike on Master Muhammad page.
No, press it and then unpress it. No, I'm just trying to make a point. Go ahead and press it. See, you can't see it. So you got to press it off again. Yeah. So, mashallah. So, alhamdulillah, how is everyone this lovely Thursday? We're hater. December is here. The end of the Gregorian calendar. If that means anything, mashallah, don't mean anything to me. It just say I'm just happy to be here above ground, 6 feet above ground, alhamdulillah, with my health and my akal. Right? We've been talking about Dalilul Akal and Dalilul Nakal in our classes, in the Umdatul Bayan classes. So, alhamdulillah, I hope that, Allah, not Allah does what he wills, and Allah's always do what he's supposed to do. I hope that whatever situation that you're in, that you are in a mindset of gratitude, because it could be much worse. I know that's not a word, worse. I said it, worse. It could be much worse than what you are currently in. Isn't there a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ says, do not look at those above you, but look at those below you, so that you can be grateful for your situation, because we're always looking at somebody that's doing better and we try to achieve what they're doing and then forget about our own situations. Mashallah. I try to remember that. Wa alaikum salam to barakatuh, Brother Farouk. Thank you for coming in and joining us. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I try to remember that because it's easy to forget. Mashallah. You have anything to say before we start?
No, ma'am.
I bet you did. Subhanallah. So I want to start off with a hadith. I couldn't find it in Arabic, but I'm going to read it, the translation. And if anybody knows the source of this, here it says the source was related by Al-Dhahabi. All right. And I'll read that. It says, it is reported that a man came to Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu, to complain about his wife's ill temper. While he was waiting for Umar to come out of his house, he heard Umar's wife scolded him, and Umar quietly listening to her and not answering her back. The man turned around and started walking away, muttering to himself. If that is the case with Umar, the leader of the believers, Amir al-Mu'mineen, who is famous for his uprightness and toughness, then what about poor me? At that moment, Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, came out of his house and saw the man walking away. He called him and said, "What is it that you want from me, O man?" The man replied, "O leader of the believers, I came to complain to you about my wife's bad temper and how she nags me. Then I heard your wife doing the same to you. So I turned around, muttering to myself, if that is the situation of the leader, Amir al-Mu'mineen, then what about me?" Umar replied. He said, "Oh, my brother, I bear with her because of her rights over me. She cooks my food, bakes my bread, washes my clothes, breastfeeds my child, and yet none of these are her duty. And then she is a comfort to my heart and keeps me away from forbidden deeds. Consequently, I bear with her." The man said, "It is the same with me, O leader of the believers." Umar said, "Then, O my brother, be patient with her. Indeed, this life is short." Alhamdulillah. I wanted to start out with that hadith. It has many, many lessons in it. And we know that the Half Your Deen show, we try to inform, inspire, encourage healthy marriages and situations. We don't have all the answers, but we try to be as sincere as we can to help navigate, because it's hard to be married these days. It's hard. It's hard to hold on to your deen. In the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ had mentioned in this translation, it's going to become a time that holding on to your deen is like holding on to hot coals. Do we really ponder over that? Your deen, your way of life that you volunteer to participate, right? Because there's no compulsion in religion. It's going to be like holding on to hot coals. That means everything is against you. To be on the straight and narrow, everything, all the odds are against you, but you got to keep going. So imagine in a marriage, in a world that is full of sin and zina, all types of adulterated nonsense that's out there. Look at TV. It's nothing to see somebody naked having sex. Nothing. You see it outside. People having sex outside, in the open, out in the open. All of these things is a test for a believer, because those people, they stoop down to their animalistic side. We humans, right? What differentiate us from the animals, right? Look at our behaviors. Just having sex any old kind of way. Picking up any person and just doing things with them. Going on Tinder. Hey, you want to hang out? Like it just takes a swipe for you to have a date in the next few minutes somewhere in your town.
That's deep if you think about it. Think about when we were younger growing up. You actually had to be somebody to get with the opposite sex, whether negative way or positive way. You know what I mean? Depending on what circles you ran in. If you was like a lot of us growing up, maybe like from a male perspective, you had to have some money, or your personality was just that. You know how to express yourself and all that kind of stuff. Or nowadays they would call it swag, but I don't know if in New York we had a word for it. But you just had that personality. You had the gift of gab and all that kind of stuff. Alhamdulillah. Uh, or, your reputation preceded you in the street. You was known for X, Y, or Z or whatever. You know, I remember not too long ago, several years ago, I remember a woman, was telling me a story of how this dude that she didn't like was begging her to get some. And I don't need to be explicit. Y'all know what I mean by get some, right? Uh, and she just got tired of him begging, so she just gave him some. Well, you don't like him. You don't like nothing about him. But all he had to do was keep asking, 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 asking. So you gave him some, so he'll go away. Whew. I tried to imagine that happening before I took Shahada. I took Shahada, I was still a teenager. I tried to imagine me being a teenager and begging a girl for something. Please, come on, please, please, right? It wouldn't have worked. But we live in different times now. You could be a dude that literally don't wash up. You could be raggedy. Your hygiene appear completely neglected, and all you have to do is beg, please, please, pretty please, come on. I asked you yesterday. Can I get some today? Like, think about the time we live in. I don't think a lot of us understand. There's no gift of gab. There's no, we used to say game. There's no conversation. It's just come straight in. Hey, can I have, I'm not going to be explicit, but you know what I mean? Hey, can I have some? Can you imagine when we were younger growing up and I just came to you, right? Like, say, before we became Muslim. How you doing? I like you. Give me some. I probably would have got slapped, right? But not during these days. There's people like, it's almost like they bartering at the flea market. Can I get some? Nah, what you gonna get from me? Right? It's like you're bargaining. Like, I'm not gonna let you get this for free. What you want, right? It's like you at the flea market. No skill, no tact, nothing subtle or nothing. And I'm saying all that to say, I didn't want to take you away from your subject, but I'm just saying while you was talking, I was thinking how, because it's so easy now. And I thank Allah that I became Muslim way before this time period, right? It's so easy now. Usually when you get stuff easy and you don't have to work for it, you don't have to invest nothing in it, and it's just given to you, usually you don't value it. You like, you just, yeah, it's just disposed. Yeah, I got something. I'm finished. And I think personally, I could be wrong. I think that because it's like this, I think this is one of the many reasons, not the only reason, but one of the many reasons why our marriages nowadays look like they do now. Because there's no value placed on it. There's no value placed on the other person. You just a thing for me to get pleasure. And I get pleasure from anywhere. I don't want this pleasure anymore. I want that pleasure over there. Move, move. I want her, right? And I think this is because we in a situation like this, and we like, ah, almost like kids. Little kids, when you get them a gift, right? And they play with it, and then after a while, they don't even value it anymore, and they want what the other kid is playing with, and then they want the next thing everybody else got, but they don't value the toy that you brought them last week. I think this is part of our situations. You were talking about how our marriages are nowadays. I think because it's so easy. I mean, I was given, Jahiliya examples, how people like a dude can just beg his way between somebody's legs. It's just the same thing is happening in Islam. We just not using the word wedding, we're using the word nikah. But we're doing the same things they do. We're just going through the formalities. And anytime someone or some group or some institute or some imam or some wali tries to make it difficult, both the man and the woman go someplace else where it's going to be easy, right? Anytime there's a rule or a requirement to fulfill, it's like, nah, man, this is 2021, right? Quick and easy. I already begged her. She said yes. What are you looking? Why are you trying to put these conditions in there? Let's go someplace else. So I think that this is part of the times that we living in. Alhamdulillah. You can, and this is a conversation, my baby. The
I know. I was
khutbah
looking at
is
the
for
comments.
tomorrow.
I was looking at the comments. Wa alaikum salam to Nabi Katu, Brother Abdul Rahim, Brother Dr. Sabir, Brother Isa, just welcoming our family. Abdullah, wa alaikum salam to Nabi Katu, Sister Amina, Sister Imari, thank you for joining us. Wa alaikum salam to Nabi Katu, Brother Rashid, alhamdulillah. Who else came in the building? It's good to see y'all, alhamdulillah. Rukaya, thank you for joining us. Alhamdulillah. I'm happy to see you. MashaAllah. Another Abdullah, mashallah. Thank you for joining us. Sister Fatima, alhamdulillah. Brother Sophia, alhamdulillah. Thank you for joining us. I think that's subhanAllah. There's a saying, an old saying. I don't know how old. It says, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Remember that saying? Why buy the cow? Meaning, why get married when I can do what I want outside of nikah? That's that not valuing, putting value on marriage and how it saves you.
I'm sorry, Abdul.
What?
I had to put that comment. Our brother Hussein, our brother Hussein became famous on our platform. He said, being optimistic and ignoring the negative stereotypes. I just became intended to assist him from Philly. Make dua for me. Oh Allah, please bless our brother Hussein Spencer with a righteous, pious wife who will help him and he will help her enter Jannah. I mean, we talk a lot of trash about Philly, and there's a lot of trash to talk about Philly, but Philadelphia got a lot of good Muslim brothers and sisters there.
You have an echo, Habibi. I don't know. I don't hear it. Y'all hear echo?
Yeah. Mute your speaker. Mute your mic, I mean. 1 1 1 1 1. Yeah, see, it's when you maybe turn your volume down a little bit.
Is he still echoing? I'm going to mute myself.
No, unmute yourself. That's when I echo when you unmute it. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
I'm just going to talk la 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 la. Any echo? Just a little bit. It sounds better. I still hear the echo, but it's low. Alhamdulillah. Nah, I just wanted to put that comment up there, so that we can all come together and make dua for our brother Hussein. I'm assuming she's black. It's Philadelphia, Chocolate City. She don't have to be black, but I'm just assuming that.
MashaAllah, Mubarak, Brother Hussein.
It's not Mubarak, it's Mabrak. You got me saying stuff messed up.
You know what?
You your supererogatory words.
That's the modern terms.
No, that's not no modern thing. That's your pattern.
That's my pattern. I wanted to extend or piggyback what you were saying about, how easy it is to, um, get into these situations. And so we shortchange ourselves. We know that this is happening. Let's not, try to act like, we all righteous. Some of us are out there is committing zina. Some of y'all are committing zina with non-Muslims. Some of y'all are committing zina with Muslims. A'udhu billah min dhalik. But I point that out to show that when you do that, you only hurt yourself. There's no pleasure in that. Yes, for them few minutes, seconds, or whatever pleasure that you have with that person, there's still some emptiness. There's still a drought. You're still thirsty. It's not nourishing. It's not quenching, your spirit. Because your spirit know you're not supposed to be doing that. Right? But if you were to do it the right way, when you partake in those things, it's not just the physical that you experience. It's not just the physical, it's the spiritual aspect. Remember that the Prophet ﷺ told a companion that every time you go to your wife, that's like sadaqah. That's charity. It's a worship. You understand? Like, this is where you get points. You know how you play a game and little game, the little water games, you got little balls and you press the button on the thing and the ball goes whoop and goes into the little brackets with the points on there. So every time you score, you get a point, right? In nikah. And you can do it as many times you want. You can't do too much. You can't do too little. But guess what? You don't have the guilt of saying, oh, I got to answer for this when I go before Allah. See, we be like passing up these opportunities because we lower ourselves to the animal level. We're no different from the animals. All they do is eat and have sex. Some of us, that's all we do. Eat and have sex. Nothing else. That's our life. When I'm going to get my next meal. When I'm going to get my next poom poom. Right? So, this show, what is burnout? How do we connect this to this? We talking about why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? We have to be honest with ourselves. And this doesn't just apply to marriage, a job, a friendship. You know how much you can take, and you know how much you are able to give. We got to know what type of person we are before we go into any situation. For instance, this is maybe, this is just an example because I've been employed. The USPS, United States Postal Service, the good old United States Postal Service. My mother used to work for them, but she wasn't a carrier. She used to work inside the station, carrying them heavy bales of mail and doing what she was doing. I became employed with them as a carrier. It was very taxing on my body. It was hard work. It was labor, slave labor. And the pay did not equate to that. I was talking to a sister and she told me how she became a mail carrier and she did not realize how demanding it was. Tired all the time, working weeks on end, and it was like no relief. And on her days off, she's busy sleeping all day because she's trying to recoup. So she couldn't even get her house, chores done or anything like that because she was busy trying to recoup from carrying that mail and going up and down the stairs. And here in Pittsburgh is very hilly. I said, girl, I could have told you that. I said, that's not a job for a person your age. I would not do that at this age. That's for somebody young. So we thinking that we are prepared for something we really not. I can't do those stairs anymore. I can't do those long distances. It's just it's taxing on the body, right? So we be biting off more than we can chew when we come into marriage. We think that we are able to take on certain situations. Like you may be a brother, you got a sister there, and you know, she can hold her own, right? She really don't need you financial or anything like that. And at first, you don't see it as an issue, you know, but then things start getting tight, right? She's still doing good, but on your end, you're slacking. And because you didn't really wasn't really honest with yourself, her doing good, it makes you look bad as a man, being able to take care of the household. When you did not address that up front. I'm just making a scenario. It's nothing real, right? So the point is, we be taking on things more than we can chew. And then down the line, that thing bites us in the behind, right? Another situation. Be honest with your feelings, the type of person you are. There's some people that don't really show emotions. They unemotional. When they happy, you can't tell. When they sad, you can't tell. When they mad, you can't tell. You can't tell nothing, right? That other person shouldn't have to guess how you feeling. So you should express that to the person up front. So they'll know, when things happen, they don't take it personally, like, why are you not reacting? But that's how they were.
You know what? I like to comment on that
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of us are in marriages like that where, people are not showing emotions because they have walls up, because people don't trust people no more. And people marry people and take all that into the marriage. I'm married to you, but I don't trust you. And I say to that, because I'm just looking at trends, the way most of us get married. We don't do a lot of work on the front end, like before marriage. This is my opinion. In other words, we risking. It's a risk anyway, right? But before the marriage, we don't put in a lot of work. We don't check the family out. Most of us don't even know what questions to ask, don't even know what to look for because we're just like really oblivious to a lot of stuff. We know what's going on, but we're not thinking about why those things go on and how those things came about. We just know what it is, right? We just know that men be acting like this, women be acting like that, but we don't never really seriously think about why and how and when did it start and what led to it. If we really start thinking about those kind of things, then will begin to know what to look for in a husband or wife before we get married. Then we'll know what to look for. But because we don't do that, that those rough type of reflections and all of those type of things, we just ask real superficial things that you can, you don't even need 2 or 3 sit downs for. You can fill out a questionnaire for that stuff. How much money you make, how many times you've been married, how many kids you got, where you live, just basic stuff. The stuff we be worrying about is like a job application or something, or a credit application or something, just real tangible stuff. During this age, we can't be just looking for that type of stuff. We have to look for deeper stuff. Dr. Sabir made a few comments about character. All the hadith that recommend, that encourage to get married, talk about character. إذا كتب من تردون دينه وخلقه فزاوجوه فإن تفعلوا فتنة في الأرض وفساد عريض. If someone comes to you and you're pleased with their deen and the character, فزاوجوه, marry them. If not, there will be corruption in earth and fitna widespread. deen, character, right? Uh, Women are married for 4 reasons. In other words, women are usually married for 4 reasons. A lot of people don't understand the hadith, right? The hadith correctly. A lot of people think that that hadith means you have a choice of why you want to marry a woman. That hadith doesn't mean that. The hadith means that women are married for 4 reasons. In other words, typically, this is why people usually marry women: for their beauty, for their wealth, for their lineage, and for their deen. Marry the woman with deen if you want to be successful. Deen, right? I always mention the situation with Maryam alayha salam when she was uh, when she was carrying her baby Jesus, Isa, and she came back to her people. What did her people say when they were trying to accuse her of zina? They said, "Your father was a righteous man and your mother wasn't a loose woman. How could you come with something like this?" Allah put that in the Quran for a reason. Surah Maryam, Surah 19. Allah put that in the Quran for a reason, because parents, household, family, upbringing has a lot to do with the type of person that that you will grow up to be. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Hulu mauludin yuladu ala al-fitra fa abawahu yuhawidanihi or yunasiranihi or yumajisani." Every child is born according to its natural disposition. In other words, the child is natural. It is his parents that cause him to go away from the fitra, make him Jew, Christian, or fire worshiper. So a lot of times we get married, especially Muslims, and a lot of us don't come from Muslim families. We like to X out and erase, dismiss, and act like the person, the husband, wife, the sister or the brother family don't even exist. When that's the one we should be wanting to meet. We should be like, yo, I want to meet your family, sis. I want to meet your dad. And my recommendation is, because this society, it's a broken family machine. This society is a broken family machine, meaning it's a machine that's intended to break families. So a lot of us don't have father and mother in the house. A lot of us don't know or didn't know who our fathers were, or ended up it wasn't raised with them and met them later and all that kind of stuff. My advice, when you about to marry a brother or sister like that, and maybe the brother or the sister say, "Well, I didn't grow up with them," you should want to meet them anyway if they know them, because their character is coming from that parent, even if it's absent parent, even if it's an absent parent. A lot of people don't believe that. If you think about it, it's true, and there's even hadith to support it.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
And so I'm saying all of that to say that we be looking for the wrong stuff, right? I went on a tangent. I'm sorry, Habib. I'm just doing what you do. This is right. We be looking for the wrong stuff, but we don't be looking at those things that we need to be looking for, and we need to be looking before the marriage. So we don't do all of that stuff, right? So we don't have a good idea what we're getting into. Then we get married, and because we didn't do all the preliminary work, we didn't do what we most of us really, what do we do before we get married? We text and we talk. How much can you talk about income and how much knowledge you got? Most of us, we talking about sex before we get married. And that's why you get all anxious, because now you done pictured it. You done had phone and text and inbox sex for how long can you do this? Right? Right? That's what's really going on. Right? So now, I gotta get married, Aki. You're gonna lose his mind, right? That's what's happening, right? Those conversations shouldn't be happening, but it happens. And so now I got to get married. And you take it too long, man. I need to get married now. Right? So you get married, but you really don't trust this person because you didn't look for nothing. So now you got your guards up. And they got their guards up. And there's just two people that don't trust each other living in the same house, waiting for the other one to mess up so they can be out.
Subhanallah.
Really, we should be do what we should be doing is doing all of that work, right? Looking, type of family, household, looking for patterns. It's about character, patterns. This person quit easy. A lot of people just quit easy. You know? Oh, it's a little problem. I'm quit. I ain't messing with it no more. And they do their marriage the same way. I'm out. You made me mad today. I liked you yesterday. I don't like you today. Bye. Right? A lot of us are like that. I ain't tolerate nothing, even marriage. We gotta look for patterns. Look for patterns. If we do all that, or if we did all that, and we still decided to get married, my suggestion and my advice: put your guard down. It may be hard. Put your guard down. Bring the wall down. Knock it down. Trust the person. They're not the last person. Let them make a mistake. Don't say, nah, I know you're going to make a mistake, so put my wall up. No, 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 no. Do all the work ahead of time. In your heart, feel like I'm about to marry a good person. From what I've seen and everything, I know what to look for. And it's hard to tell a person to look for these things if they don't have experience. A lot of what I'm saying is coming from experience, not just textbook, right? I even find it hard communicating this to a lot of brothers. Usually the brothers that I say this to, they be like, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Then they be the same one. I need to get married right now. Right. When? Yesterday. Can we rewind? Can we pull a clock back and get married yesterday, please? Usually I'm like, I tried. I told him. Right. So, but my advice is put your guard down, brothers and sisters. You did your research. You made a sincere istikara. You know what an istikara is. You asking Allah to guide your heart in your decision making. You did that. Now put your guard down. That's supposed to be your best friend.
SubhanAllah. You made some good points. Even on the sister side, you have some sisters, they wanna be everything for that man, right? And nothing wrong with that. You want to be able to be his comfort. You want to be there for him, his support, and all that good stuff. Alhamdulillah. But you know how much you can take and how much you can, how you are built, right? And then we have, and it's sad, like our society it doesn't nurture families with children. Like, some women, and I'm sure some brothers want children, right? Lots of children. But this environment is not conducive for that. It makes it hard. And so, with all of that going against you, like I said, holding on to your deen is like holding on to hot coals, right? You bringing up a family now. Children are involved, right? Who's taking care of the kids, right? Most likely the wife, right? Children, well, there's 1, 3, 5, 9, 10, 12, 15, can be a handful. It's not easy. And it don't just start by them being here. It start while carrying them in your womb. We go through all types of changes as women, right? And there are times that it seems like we're doing that all by ourselves. And that's not a good feeling at all, brothers. If you are married to a sister and she get pregnant, go to a doctor's appointment. If you can't go to all of them, go to most of them. Make an effort. Especially when you go to the sonogram appointment, which is about at 4 to 6 months, I believe, depending if you have like a normal pregnancy. I hear a lot of sisters complain about that. Like they're pregnant by themselves. They didn't get pregnant by themselves, but they're carrying this child by themselves. That's a lot of stress, okay, on the mother. Then she has the baby. Baby comes out. Beautiful baby. Bouncing baby boy, bouncing baby girl, right? They're demanding that little ball of muscle, I like to say, right? Because he's so small, right? I call him a ball of muscle because, they don't know when they have their own clock. They go to bed when they want to, right? They want to eat all day, all night, right? And you have to appease that baby. All of that is on the mama.
I'm just getting tired of thinking about it. And you know what I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Changing diapers. That's part of it too. Baby don't know how to go to the bathroom themselves. Sometimes you get peed on if you have a boy. Everybody get peed on once, right? You get a baby, they duty up their back, right? That mustard go up the back, right? Everybody had that experience, right? It missed the pamper totally, but it's up the back, right? I don't know.
Is that a baby karama? Is that a baby miracle? You have the diaper on. The diaper is on properly. You poop. It missed the whole diaper.
Missed the whole diaper. How many diapers can you go through on a newborn? Usually a pack of newborn Pampers is like 100, right? Like in their first week, they might go through half of that. Because it seems like every hour you got to change the diaper, right? You got to take care of the umbilical cord area, right? You know, and if you're nursing, some of us, it's easy to do and it's not. Like after 3 days, your milk start rushing into your breast for that baby. That baby mouth is like this small, right? And your booby's like this big. And you expect the baby to latch on to that, right? I'm describing these things because we don't think about this. I'm talking about those people that just get married just to hit it and run. Babies come from this. Babies come from these situations. You don't plan for them, but Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. That baby got to eat, right? That baby gonna eventually grow up, right? It gets bigger. But during that infancy period to toddlerhood, who's doing the majority of doing all of that? Running after them, cleaning after them. Then they gotta cook. Then they gotta be the wife. Then they gotta make sure they do their wifely duties for their husband. That's a lot. And when he don't help with the diapers, help with the cleaning, help with the feeding or anything like that, at least hold the baby up to the boob, do whatever, just to show I care, she get burnt out. And I'm not saying the brothers don't get burnt out. You get burnt out too. Okay? We both get burnt out. What happens when you get burnt out? I just described what a mother goes through, right? No, they wasn't built for that. I don't want to hear that. Nope. Nope. That's a lie. That's a farce. You know why it's a farce? Because Allah didn't put that responsibility solely on the mother. Allah gave them a family, and that extended family is what assists. That what lessens the distress. And we don't have that luxury here in America. If we had that, you'll have less postpartum situations, depression of women. If you have that, you'll have more midwives and doulas delivering these babies and not in these hospitals dying, bleeding to death. A whole lot of implications if our situation was different. Yes, baby.
I would like to interject right here. And I'm talking from personal experience. Because of what you just mentioned, a lot of times when we marry, we need to think about this if we talking about either one or both of, meaning the husband or the wife or both of them, relocating. Because now we on social media. We talking to people all over the world. You may meet if you're a brother, you may meet a sister in another state. And y'all may decide to get married. She may come to your city or your state or vice versa. We need to also think about if we're taking our wives away from their support system. If it's just her and you, when it's time to have babies and them babies come, there's no one to help her. Her family is not there. And most of our Muslim communities don't exist. Right? We're in the process of trying to build back up. So there's no support system there. So we need to be thinking about these things if we get married and having children. We don't think about these things until they happen. And I'm talking from experience. We don't want, you don't want your wife to get burned out because, that's going to impact your marriage, impact your household, and all that kind of stuff. It's normal. It's not, even though it may not be so normal in this country, but it's normal human behavior for a woman to have a newborn baby and is able to leave the baby with the family, close family, whoever that close family is, for a few hours or whatever, just to relax or to go somewhere, get some fresh air, all that kind of stuff. In most cultures, this happens. But because we don't live in a real culture, we live in a human factory. And factories just about cogs and machines and pieces and everything working systematically. And then when one piece breaks, you take the broken piece out, put another piece in there, and the machine keeps working again. And that's how they're doing us as human beings, and we don't recognize it. And we are, as you say, burning out, but we're breaking because we're human machines, and we're forced to be human machines in this society. And and a lot of us are just breaking because we weren't meant to be doing all of this by ourselves as individuals for that amount of time. I don't care what type of machinery you get. If you keep using it over and over and over and over and over and over, it's eventually going to break. You have to get another one. That's inanimate, dead objects, right? We're human beings. Human beings need to be able to get a break. That's physically, spiritually, intellectually, all that kind of stuff. But this society is not meant to make you have a break. Nah, you got to go to work. And when you at home, you still need to be doing some work or at least thinking about work. And then when you get back to work again, you need to work some more. And then the money that you're making ain't enough for you to sustain yourself. So you got to get another job to work some more, which means you have zero time. Two full-time jobs, you don't have no time. You're not a human being. You don't have no family. You don't have no children. You don't have no wife. You don't have nothing. You just have job, and you work to get a job, and you get a job to work, and you don't have no life. It's all over with, and your husband, your children, and everything become alienated from you, and they hate your guts, and you grow up like this, and we all go on blaming each other, but we ignore the fact that we living in a situation that created this situation. We have to realize what's going on here, and we have to try to change our situation, knowing that it's hostile to us. A lot of us ain't thinking, we ain't ready to think like that yet. And so we still at the level of blaming each other when the ultimate cause is someone else.
That's because it's been going on so long, you think that it's normal. This is how it's supposed to be. No. That's just like a woman grew up in a household where her dad was beating up on her mom, right? That's all she saw. So when she get older and get her man, get her husband, he beating on her, she's not going to question it. That's how it's supposed to be. That's why my mom, how I grew up in my household, and I guess that's how it's supposed to be in my household with my children. And this insanity keeps going. So let me go down a list of burnout on the father side and the mother side, on the spouse, the wife, or the husband, right? Regardless if there's children or not. You get overly exhausted, like you tired. You can go to sleep and be more tired than you were before you went to sleep, right? No energy whatsoever, right? You tend to be less interested in things. Like you're not even interested in being married. You may be at a job, you don't care about your job. You used to love your job. You boast about your job. That was something that you that was your dream job. You dreamt of this opportunity to come up. But it's been weighing on you so much that you don't even care to go to work. When Friday come, 5 o'clock, well, it used to be like that, right? 5 o'clock come, you couldn't wait to clock out. Remember when you were in school and you had that last period class you could not stand, right? You sitting there with your bags on the desk.
Especially like when it's hot outside, like right before summer, like May, June, one more week of school left.
That was the worst. That was the worst, just sitting there waiting for that bell to ring so y'all could dash outside, right? You like that at work, right? You're just like, I can't take it no more. So imagine being in a marriage like that. You're a man, you working, right? Trying to pay the bills. Like I was recalling, I forgot where I heard it from. I think I remember. It was CJ. CJ and Khalil on a podcast on YouTube, the Barbershop Conversations. And I think it was they were talking about the average, like the middle class income. Do you remember they was talking about that? Wasn't they talking about that? Like it was like $100,000 or something like that. Like middle class. The average middle class income for a family is $100,000. How many of us is making that? Right? Not too many. A lot of us is working poor. If you earning below that, right? You may earn so much, so low that you qualify for food stamps, Medicaid, and all that stuff, right? It's like that, right? And it's not to put anybody down, but just imagine you working, the price of food going up. You don't own your home, you're renting. The landlord decides to raise the rent because their mortgage is going up. They got to, save their house. It's either kick you out and get another tenant, or you pay that higher rent. And you got this, right? You come home, you working, right? You're doing the best you can. Mom there with the kids, whether it's 1, 3, 5, 9, 10, or whatever, going crazy. I need a break. But you've been at work all day. You're tired, right? You don't have the energy, right? She don't have the energy to deal with that. So y'all clashing, right? You start having cognitive impairment. What is that? You have trouble remembering things, right? You can't learn new things. It goes in one year after the other, it don't stick, right? You can't concentrate anymore. It's like you're like your brain is fried. I've been there. Your brain is fried. I can't think anymore. And both of y'all going through it. I just can't do it because we're worked like workhorses. We're not treated as human beings if you look at it. We're treated as slaves, workhorses,
Machines.
yeah. Like machines, like you have no soul. Look how Amazon, how they got the robots working along with the human beings. So if they got robots working next to the human beings, what are the human beings doing? You understand? I can't imagine.
You mentioned Amazon. Remember we watched that YouTube video about Amazon and all the cameras and the sensors they got? When I used to drive the airport shuttle van, I thought that was bad. Little camera, you make a sudden stop or a hard turn, that gets recorded. And then all of that's calculated to a point system. And then the point system, every quarter is factored in to your category. So your pay can go up or down based upon how you drive it and stuff like that. Then I saw the Amazon. I was like, subhanAllah, that's way worse than the super shuttle, the van I used to drive. I like way worse. They got cameras all around and stuff. Man, you can't even pick your nose with a camera.
Nope. And they clocking every second. Like that's why the Amazon, sorry to digress. That's why a lot of the workers were peeing in bottles and they were leaving it in the truck for the next workers for their shift. And they're like, what is all this stuff right here? Well, I didn't have time to go to the bathroom. It was not part of my shift. And it's getting 5,000. Yeah, but look what they got to go through. That's why they paying them that much. And really, that's no money. Because everything is going up. The cost of living is going up. It says, they're raising the pay, per hour, and then everything else is going on up with it. Like it's though you making $8, $5 an hour. It doesn't pan out.
That's deep. And everything is going up. The price of food, the price of building materials, gas, everything is going up. And it ain't just happening in America. Everywhere. You muted.
To continue on, you grouchy. You angry all the time. Got attitude. He got attitudes. I've been working for Mr. Charlie all day. He ain't treating me right. I'm black. They giving the other workers of another color certain rights and, benefits. And I'm doing the same job, like they do. And they treat me like trash. So you come home to an attitude and you got an attitude. That's why, going back to that hadith that you mentioned, marry the one with deen if you are successful, right? Deen will help you to navigate. You both realize you living in a sijin, a prison. This is a prison for us. This is not paradise. This is not fantasy island. This is not happily ever after. Why you laughing? Why you laughing?
Every time somebody use that phrase fantasy island, our young brothers and sisters might not be able to relate to that. Fantasy Island used to always come on. It was a TV show, and it always used to come on after the Love Boat. I was a little kid. I used to like watching the Love Boat. I still remember the name of the captain, Captain Stupid. The Love Boat used to come on. It used to begin. I think couples used to come to the island, and then the little plane with the little boat plane with the propellers on it that lands on the water, and so the plane used to come, and Abdul Haq and Miriam beat me to what I was about to say. Right, little tattoo, the little short. I think he was Mexican midget boss. The plane.
Sakina said, "What year was that?" Before your
1980s,
age.
70s, and maybe 70s and early 80s, right?
Yeah. Yes, subhanAllah. So, so other things
Yeah,
get
Abdul
affected.
Haq, Isaac had the pro. He was the complimentary Negro. We got black people working on the boat, the Love Boat.
Woo, subhanAllah. So you got attitudes, she got attitudes. Other areas of your marriage get affected. Dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction. You have no interest in doing nothing, right? Men and women are built differently. I'm not a man, but I'm gonna say some men. I ain't gonna say all of them. Despite all that working, you want to get it in. She got noodles in her hair, right? Smelling like throw up, right? She didn't even get herself together. And he giving her the eye like
Just for like noodles, throw up and poop and pee. Like, listen, babe. Mothers get doodle, poop, daughter throw up on every day.
And then that brother throw that hadith, even breaking bread. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, even breaking bread.
Yes, and it's sahih. It's good to bake bread.
She don't want to break bread at that point.
No, I said even while she's baking bread. Meaning you're supposed to stop, drop, and roll. Follow the sunnah, sisters.
What? Go ahead with that. Because if I ain't got the mental for it, the kids is up. All right, we're gonna go in the room in here and Abby and Bobby up there climbing the walls. No, not even baking bread.
They're gonna go to sleep.
Get out of here. But anyway, see that?
Listen, all the throw up, poop, pee, noodles, that's what they make showers for.
Okay. Anyway.
Allah put barakat in ghusl.
Anyway, listen. You better stop giving bad advice. SubhanAllah. So you stop putting effort into your marriage. into that other person. You just don't care how they feeling. Y'all both burnt out. That marriage is a disaster waiting to happen. Y'all may love each other and everything, but everything is set against you in your situation. And it's like you said, you're doing the same robotic thing over and over, think it's going to change, and it's not. That's why we have to be real. Like the 3453 family, if that's your family, that should give you some relief in your situation, whatever situation you're in, right? Because it's not just you. You got a whole support system. If you're true to that. Now, somebody might say, what's a 3453? Go look on the Master Muhammad Atlantic City page about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and look at some videos. I don't want to repeat it here. Or what?
Go on Facebook and look 3453 show, like the page, and follow our youth show. They'll explain to you what the
Okay, yes, that's the easiest way. And this is not to exclude anybody. You part of 3453 if you're a Muslim, to be honest. You just coined it, right? It's just been coined, right? And so when you start putting effort, you start working on your marriage. You don't care. You just want to get out, right? Him on his side, I'm doing the best I can. Nothing is good enough for you. You're not appreciating me. And this goes on. So you start pointing fingers, and it's not about pointing fingers. It's nobody's fault. It's the system that's working against you. And you got to recognize that the shaitan is your open enemy. We forget his play in all of this. He wants y'all to break up. He takes pleasure in that when a man and woman breaks up. That's why we shouldn't be easy to get out of a situation. I don't care how hard it is. Because everything is good for a believer. I ain't talking about somebody going upside your head, you getting abused and all that stuff and getting cussed out. No, we ain't talking about those situations.
In those situations, if you're getting busted upside your head and getting treated extremely bad, just be patient.
No, stop listening. No, get out.
Sisters actually get told that. You know that, right?
Get out.
Sister come to the masjid. Imam, can you help me out? My husband beat me. Be patient, sister. Allah is with those who are patient. Subhanallah, for real?
He just joking. He's just joking.
No, that's a serious joke. Sisters get told
but
that.
it's not a joke, but it's a serious joke. But it is a reality.
And the thing that would scare me as an imam, right? Telling somebody something like that, and they actually take the advice, and something real bad happened to them.
And we living in a time that people are taking each other out. I remember a Muslim couple, and the brother killed the wife. There have been other situations where the spouse shot the other spouse and killed them, taking them away from their children. So this is real. Being burnt out is not okay. You have to recognize that it's happening, and you got to take measures to lessen it, right? What are those measures? You got to take a break. You can't be on that treadmill. You know, like the little hamsters, they on their treadmills and that's all they do. And that wheel ain't going nowhere. It's just going in a circle in one space. That's how we are, day in, day out, doing the same thing. The monotony of everyday life is just, that's what it is. That consumes, it drains the life out of you. Like you're like a living dead. You just like a zombie and just going through the motions. That's not no way to live. So we have to recognize that. We need breaks, right? So let's say in a marriage, give each other a break. Okay, babe. Sometimes you want it alone time, right? Sometimes you don't even want to be with your spouse. I want to be by myself. I need to think. You understand? It's necessary. It's like medicine. Think of it as medicine. What you about to say, Habibi?
Nah, I can't let it go past. Because we mentioned the Love Boat, Fantasy Island, somebody mentioned Gilligan's Island, and you said the phrase twice. Give me a break. Nell Carter. Now you got that theme song playing in my head. Give me a break. I do deserve it. I forgot.
Brother Hussein said sisters would be swinging. Yes, she swings on too. And we don't condone that. That's domestic violence. It doesn't have a particular agenda. None whatsoever. Keep your hands to yourself. Right? Reevaluate your situation. Like, look at what's going on. If you know, when you notice certain things are going on, y'all need to communicate. Let's like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Like, I don't like how things is going. This is not how it was when we first got married. Nip it in the bud. We let things go on and on and on because we're so confused, consumed in our daily activities. And we don't even know what the other person is doing or going through.
Hey, Imam, I always want to be with her too. She don't want to be around me. She get tired of me.
I need my space like you need your space. He don't never want his space. I can't say that. I be wanting my space. He don't never want his space.
All right, I'm about to give you some space. Talking like that? Yeah, I tried to love you. But you want space. You want space? I'm going to give you some space. Watch. Watch, family. I'm going to show y'all real soon. I'm going to give us some space. Wow.
Listen, make the necessary adjustments.
Exactly, Imam. It's her fault. Everything is her fault.
Everything is my fault. Make the necessary adjustments in your situation. She got her situation. He got his situation. Y'all need to work it out. He may have to quit one of them 20 jobs so that he can bring his behind home and help her with them kids. Some of y'all brothers, that y'all don't even know how to run a household because you didn't grow up in a household that required you to do that. So it's like, because you don't know, you don't make the effort.
Some of your sisters don't know how to run a household because you wasn't raised in a house. The household was ran. And so y'all get your household running skills off of TikTok. Y'all brothers. Y'all sisters don't know how to run a house. When we was in school, they had home economics.
No more.
If the girls didn't grow up in a household that was being ran, they at least had a class for it in elementary, junior high school. Y'all sisters don't know how to run a house either. Y'all be serving the kids Hot Pockets from Family Dollar.
Not
in a microwave. Why y'all even have a stove in the house? For what? You're just taking up space. It's a microwave.
Nah, you know what's happening too? And I digress. You got a lot of these mothers being 304s with their daughters. 304s. Remember I tell you what 304s mean? That's what they busy doing. I digress. Get rid of the negativity. Watch out for the company that you keep, right? We were talking about family, the family support. Sometimes we be having people in our ear, they really not support. They really bringing negativity in your situation and hoping that your stuff fail and fall down and break up. So what? So they can be up in that piece. They don't mean you no good. Watch out who you call your friend. Okay? Watch out the advice that they give you. If they don't encourage you to stay together, run. I wanted to say, when you are talking about meeting the family, that if the person doesn't even inquire about your family, like even have any interest, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Not only wanting to meet, but that person don't have any interest in meeting your family. Like, they don't even mention it. That should tell you a lot. And I noticed that with people that I am associates with. If I'm talking to a sister And she don't ask about my family or my background and all this stuff, but she dumping on me all her issues. That's not a friendship. I'm just a soundboard for her. So I don't even exist. I'm just there to listen to her. Wah, 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 wah. And then when something else happened, she there to come again. Hey, Samir, assalamu alaikum. Wah, 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 wah. Know how you doing or nothing, right? So you recognize what kind of a situation that you're in, or what type of relationship that you actually have with people when they really concerned with you. So if they're not concerned about your personal, run, cut them off, find some more friends, right? Um, Correct your intentions. We be having the wrong intentions when we come into
Can we back
situations.
up?
Go ahead.
You're talking about friends, right? A lot of times, I don't know if it's like this with your sisters. You can tell me if this the case or not. A lot of times, brothers, when it comes to Muslims and marriage, a lot of times a brother will try to do what the next brother's doing. Like, for example, if it looks like a brother's a certain way with his wife or wives, he'll try the same thing. His personality ain't cut out for that. Or if a brother has more than one wife, now he want more than one wife. Or if maybe there's a few brothers and a couple of them or a few of them got more than one wife. Now he feel like he need to have more than one wife too. Don't do that. And I'm not saying the brothers is like clowning or it's some sort of peer pressure or anything like that. But a lot of times people want to do what other people is doing, even though they're not ready to do it. And so a lot of we talking about friends and peers and stuff. You know, a lot of times you married to your wife, not the brother, not your friends, and you married to her, and they're married to their wives. Them are different than you, and their wives are different from your wife. You know, there's not no two marriages, no two interactions are the same. Just because he talks to his wife like that, that don't mean you can talk to your wife like that. And like I always tell Samira, right, and she knows who I'm talking about, that I see the way one brother, one sister talks to her husband. I'm like, oh hell no, you ain't talking to me like that. The brother's cool with it. Me, I get offended every time I hear it. I'm like it's just I don't know. Maybe it's where they're from and just the cadence, the tone. The To me, it's like it's just blatant disrespect. I'm like, nah, man. But maybe to him, maybe to her, she not intending disrespect. Maybe he's not taking it as disrespect. But I couldn't be married to somebody like that. Talk to me.
Let me finish my list. You a mess. Um,
No, you ain't going to finish nothing.
Seek counseling. You might need some psychiatrist. You might something mentally maybe going wrong. Something, because usually when you burn out, it will affect your health. It will affect your health. Um, Sometimes in a marriage or at a job, you may have to get divorced. That might be the best solution. It's the last resort. It should be the last resort. But if you are not making the effort and doing everything that you can and recognizing what's against you and planning for that, it might end up that way. Just like a job. You see that Mr. Charlie, he paying such and such more than you. You've been there longer, work harder, but he paying such and such because he related to his uncle, cousin, father, mother on his grandfather's side. He giving him more, right? He paying him more for the same task that you perform. You need to roll. Start your own business. Go with a company that appreciates you and your skills. Sometimes we be feeling like we have to stay in a situation, like an abusive situation, emotional and physical and mental. Don't stay in that. And so these are ways to alleviate that. But you got to nip it in the bud. You can't wait till things, have, progressed so long after a time. It's just like, what's the point right now? I don't see any, I don't see no relief. I don't see me changing. I don't see you changing. The best thing for me is to get out. You don't want to be like that. So nip it in the bud, right? And keep good company again. People in your ear. That's what's going to help you. That support. See what it is in your situation, in your community. Maybe you have to make hijrah to alleviate your situation. Some of us say, well, that's not an easy thing to do. Plan for it. Y'all relocate for jobs, right? All the time. You could be in North Carolina and the job could be in California. You're gonna make a way. You're gonna rent a U-Haul. You're gonna sell your stuff and take only the things that you need. Or maybe you're not taking anything. You're gonna start off fresh. We do what's necessary, what we want to do when we need to do it. But when it comes to the deen and to preserving our deen, we lack the same motivation and excitement. And that's what's hurting us. That is what's hurting us. SubhanAllah. Let me look at these comments. Sophia said, learn the love language of your spouse. A person's love language is a form of communication, but no one should have to guess what their spouse is thinking. If you are in sync and you pay attention to each other, you'll know. You'll know what will upset them. You will know what will excite them. You will know what will tick them off, right? You know what will upset them. You will know these things. So this is so poignant what you said right here, Sophia. It's so important because the shaitan, y'all, he don't want us to get married. He don't want y'all single people to get married. And the ones that's married, he don't want you to stay together. He rather y'all fornicate. He rather y'all have illicit relations and be satisfied and don't have no conscience about it. That's what he want. SubhanAllah. Let me see here. Abdullah said, for me, it's difficult with one wife. I cannot even imagine having a second one. It's like I got three wives in one. Exactly. Imam Amin made a point about that. I think it was Imam Amin. No. It was something else. He was just talking about the emotions of women. But I was listening to something else, and the person was pointing out women have their own minds, their own situations, their own family background, their own histories, and you got to deal with that. And then imagine 4 of them, or 3 of them, or 2 of them, or 1. It don't matter. That's a lot to take on. So you got to lower your wing. Love and mercy, Allah places between us, because He know we need that. That's what's going to help us to be able to work it out. What you was going to say, Habib? And we're going to close out, inshallah.
Now you can keep going. I'm looking for a hadith.
Okay, let me go through these comments some more. Let's see here. Hussein said, I want a Muslim version of Cliff and Claire Huxtable. Their relationship was dope. LOL. He said, y'all really got to be friends, lovers, and soulmates on a physical and spiritual level straight up. Yeah, that helps, but not everybody have that. That's not something that you can build. That's something that naturally occurs. Allah places that, Nitma. Not everybody gets to experience that. When you experience somebody to be friends with and a soulmate, it just makes things extra special.
I want to comment on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a hadith to support, looking for the hadith to support what I wanted to say, and it was in relation to that comment. Let me just get it up here. Hold on. Y'all know in the subhanallah. Y'all know in the Quran in Surah Al-A'raf, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He extracted the souls from all of the children of Adam, from the loins of Adam, and said, Alastu bi rabbikum, am I not your Lord? And all human beings, all of us responded, Bala shahidna. Oh, indeed, we bear witness. Right? That was That when that happened, a whole lot of other stuff happened that day. The day Allah extracted all of us human beings from our father's loins and asked us that. It's called the Day of Souls, Yom Awrah, the Day of Souls. And here comes this hadith that I was just looking for. This narration is in Muslim and has been reported by Abu Huraira. He said, souls are collected get together, and those who are familiarized with each other would have affinity with one another, and those who amongst them who are opposed to each other would also be divergent. I don't really care for that translation too much. But basically what the hadith is saying, and when you look into it a little further, that on that plane, on that day, when Allah asked us, am I not your Lord? And all the human beings said, of course we bear witness. If our souls were close to each other or near to each other in proximity when that happened, those are the people who get along real good. It's like they just click. They just meet each other and they just get along like they known each other all the time. Those people who on that day, the spirit was, they were real far from each other. It's real hard for them to get along. They need the dean to get along. Right? There's some type of people like, I don't like him. Why? What did he do to you? He ain't did nothing to me. I just don't like him. We all got people like that. If we admit it, people that we know or probably don't even know, and ain't did nothing to, they didn't do nothing to us. We didn't do nothing to them. They didn't say nothing bad about you. You ain't said nothing bad about them. You don't really care for them like that. You just stay over there. I don't like you. Right? Part of the reason could be because when we said when Allah said Alastu bi Rabbikum, we all said Bala Shahidna, he was way over there and you was way over there. and so I'm saying that a lot of times when we get married, we talk about soulmates. I wonder who came up with that. I wonder if a Muslim originally came up with that. Because we forget that human beings, we're not only jasad, we're not only the physical body, we're awrah, we're spirits. When we die, the spirit leaves our body. When we go to sleep, the spirit leaves our body. But then it comes back when we wake up. When our spirit is contained in our body, it's restricted by it. You ever think about when you have a dream, and in your dream, you done lived a whole day's life. You done did like 2-3 weeks worth of stuff in your dream. And you really experience it. I mean, think about it. If you were awake and you were just to do that in awake, you couldn't do it, right? But in your dream, you didn't live 3 whole weeks. And you wake up, you look at the clock, you were asleep in 20 minutes. Because when your soul is outside of your body, it's not restricted by time in the same way that it is when it's in your body.
SubhanAllah.
And we have to realize that souls, because they're not always inside the body, sometimes they interact with each other. That's why, think about it. And the first time I heard this, I was like, SubhanAllah. Think about it. You real cool with somebody. Never had no problem with them. Y'all cool. And then y'all get together one day, you're like, something's off. They didn't say nothing. They ain't do nothing weird or nothing, but something's off. And then sometimes in the future, sometime go by in the future, you found out that person was talking trash about you. You didn't know it at the time, but you think about it. I knew something was off. He was acting funny. No, he wasn't acting funny. Souls communicate with each other. Your soul knew it, but your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, they didn't know it yet. Your intellect didn't know it yet. Your soul registered that this person did something to you, said something about you, It wasn't right. Your body just found out later, right? And so you think huh, when did they say that? 2 weeks ago? Well, I seen them a week ago, and I thought something was off. Huh. That's what happened. Souls is communicating and interacting with each other and stuff like this. And, and so to bring it back to what we're talking about marriage and getting along and compatibility and being in love with each other. What do we say to each other about our spouses? When sisters get together with their homegirls, what you saying about your husband?
He ain't no good, such and such.
When brothers get together with the brothers, what you saying about your wife?
I wish I had your wife, because my wife is such and such and so and so.
If you just think about that, and your husband ain't there, your wife ain't there, but the souls are there. And we wonder why, again, because we thinking like non-Muslims. We forget that Allah gave us a body and a spirit. And we violating stuff on a spiritual level, and we don't know why stuff is going wrong.
Woo! Everything, subhanAllah. This show can go on for like a few more hours. That's why Shaitan is our open enemy, y'all. Shaitan is our open enemy. The other day, Sister Malika asked me why I say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim 3 times. I say it for emphasis. And at the time I was going through stuff, I said it for emphasis, for protection. I seek refuge in Allah from the rejected shaitan. You cannot see shaitan, but his presence is ever in our lives. Right? We should always be in the mindset, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We should always be in that mindset. We don't protect ourselves. We don't protect our spirits. We always worry about the outer, what it looks like, right? That's superficial. We gotta protect what we encase our hearts, our spirit, our soul. You understand? We don't even protect that, but we worry about the outside. You could look the bomb on the outside, but your inside is ugly, it's dirty, it's deficient, and we wonder why we are not not ever satisfied, and always looking for the next thing. You always going to be like that throughout life because you haven't protected. You haven't, put the armor of tasawwuf. We haven't used that armor of tasawwuf. I'm gonna say it again. That part that's been stripped from us. We've been given the Islam and the Iman and the Islam, but not the Ihsan. That is what we're missing. That's what's going to save us. That's what's going to make us whole. Keep believing them lies. Keep believing that 3 ones is. And you always going to be deficient. Your situation always going to be lacking. You're never going to be satisfied. You're going to be in and out of marriages, males and females. Okay? Because you done cut yourself off. It's not just the physical. It's your hearts. Our hearts are ugly. A lot of our hearts are dead. You can't do nothing with a dead heart. It's just dead. It's not pumping life into anything. So our marriages are dead. Even before it starts, it's dead. After you get out of it, it's dead. Because we dead. We're like walking zombies, living dead. Y'all remember that movie, right? They got the Walking Dead now, but we have the living dead back in the days, back in the 80s or whatever, right?
Night of the Living Dead.
Right, Night of the Living Dead. And we got to wake up. You know how we woke, right? We got to wake up. Because if we don't wake up, we're going to be dead and don't realize that we dead. We really dead. Because we're not living. We're not living like we're supposed to. But we're not going to hold y'all too much longer. Alhamdulillah. I see you, Miriam. I love her. That's my baby. That's my teacher right there. One of my teachers. My Arabic teachers, y'all. She's going to be doing big things, inshallah. We want to thank everyone for joining us. You are our family. We appreciate you. We appreciate the input. that you always give and your thoughts. And this is for us. Yeah, yes, we here talking, but we benefit as well. We learn as well. Okay, not one person know everything. That's not even possible. So anybody that come before you talking about I know all and I have all the answers is a liar. That's the shaitan. That's the shaitan. And we don't have all the answers. We talk from experience, from sincerity. You know, Allah knows best, and may Allah purify our intentions. And may Allah bless you all. May I bless your Jum'ah is Juma Mubarak. And you know what I say all the time. Make sure you send abundant prayers upon the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Make sure you read Surah to Calf. Start tonight, a few pages in the morning during Fajr or even Tahajjud. Read some more. And then before the day ends, before Maghrib, finish your Surah to Calf. Don't let the day catch you. And make dua for your brothers and sisters. We need it. We need each other's support. We need each other's duas in the absence. Because we make dua and we question ourselves. Why seem like my duas are not answered? Because there's something that may be going on with you, but somebody else's duas are being answered on your behalf. So don't take that lightly. Allah may not answer your duas, but He may answer the dua of someone that's more righteous than you, and you can't recognize who that is. So we got to be careful how we treat each other. I need all the duas I can get. Please send them over here. Send them over here to us, our family. Listen, I need, in case mine are not being answered, perhaps your duas will be answered for me. And let's make duas for each other, because we don't know who Allah is answering the duas of. We don't know. So, mashallah, with that being said, did you have anything else? Oh, I did have something. 3453 show this Sunday at 4 p.m. They're going to be talking about marriage. Our young people are going to be talking about marriage. So not just the HYD. They're going to have that topic on this Sunday. The ad will be posted up tomorrow, inshallah, the advertisement of it. Please support. Get your young people involved. There are some youth that are trying to make a change. And this is an opportunity to get your youth active in that change. Because we need them and we support them. With that being said, Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk wal asra innal insana lafi khusra illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillah.